Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and the Giants. I am Enzo, my forever co-host John, and today we take a break on Korean content and talk about Anora,
Mm-hmm.
another late pickup from last year, but I don't think it ever showed here in the Philippines
No,
last year. Yeah. Uh,
no, I didn't even hear about it until you told me to watch it for this review.
yeah, I heard about it from like other channels, and I was like, oh, I wonder what it's about. Because I think Jeremy Johns was like, it's his top 10. I was like, I've never heard about this.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can see why.
yeah,
Not gonna lie, watching this film, I had a lot of fun in more ways than one.
yeah. It stars Mickey Madison from the Manson family in Once
Yeah,
Upon a Time in Hollywood. I swear, if you watch that movie again and you see the Manson family, you're like, oh my god, that's Sydney Sweeney. Oh my god, that's Austin Butler.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I do like the pacing of this movie. Like, the first half is like the length of any other rom com. You're like, huh.
not gonna lie. Going into it, I was like, so is this gonna be like a Pretty Woman reboot? Is this gonna be like a Cinderella story where, yes, prostitute falls in love with really rich Russian oligarch,
Yeah.
like son, and they live happily ever after and make it work.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, that's not the case, and I really like how it turned out too.
Yeah. Same here. Like, as I said, like, most rom coms, like, the first half is like the entire length of a rom com. And you're like, oh, but we have so much more movie to get through. It's gonna happen
Yeah,
now. Like, once they fall in love, get married. Like, you're like, there's like still an hour and 30 minutes left. What the fuck are we gonna
yeah,
do? And like, that's when
yeah,
the real plot kicks in. That Yvonne's family is like, we're not having you marry someone of Annie's or Anora's station in life.
perfection.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, he comes from a really really rich family.
yeah,
I don't know if it's like the mob or anything like that, but it comes to a point where the Three Stooges has to come in.
yeah. Toro's
um,
Igor and Torres' brother. Like,
yeah,
those are the three
I s-
standouts aside from Mickey Madison's for me.
yeah, yeah. Like the entire scene where they're just trying to restrain her. By the way, um, to anyone who thinks hey, let's watch this with the family, don't.
No.
This is not that type of movie. If you were able to watch it alone or with a partner, I think that's best.
Yeah.
Because, not gonna lie, the start of this movie is almost straight up pornography.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my, alright, this is 2024. Like, times have changed.
Yeah.
Not much is censored anymore, which is fine. But like, yeah, if you're watching with the family, they might be like, what are you making us watch?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It is a lot. If I think they kind of had more yucking scenes than Game of Thrones ever did in 8 seasons.
That's a probability. But yeah, I do love the scene where they're like trying to restrain for Anora, and like
Hmm.
like any other movie, you're like, this is kind of, I don't like this. But like, since
Hmm.
they are the Three Stooges, it just becomes a comedy. Like, poor Igor gets the shit kicked out of him, and he's still like, please, I'm just here for a job. Please don't hurt
Well,
me.
like he gets socked in the face and he's just impressive. It's just like what?
Yeah. And then when Annie starts screaming, he's like, please, please stop screaming. And Thor's just like, I'm just here because Yvonne's mom is barking orders at me to get this marriage annulled. And Annie's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, that's not gonna happen. He's like, yes, it is. You don't understand how bad his family is.
It's such a roller coaster ride, and not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever seen a much nicer Russian mob.
Right?
They're so kind. They're not if Annie wasn't as, you know, how would I say, too
Agre-
much fighty backy.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like this problem would have been smooth sailing. They'd been like, all right,
Yeah.
we give you 10K. Can you just please leave him alone?
Yeah, but I
You know?
mean, the situation is worrying. Like, two big men come into your house, and they're like, you have to get annulled otherwise, and you're like, otherwise what? Otherwise what?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah, but not gonna lie, they're very reasonable about it.
yeah. I don't think they're part of the mob. I think the family's just a rich oligarch, and they're just hired, and they're just like,
They're
we're just have connections.
well.
I
I
feel
would say
like Taurus is just like
I-
a poor uncle trying to handle like a bad child.
Yeah, like a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
I will say, maybe Igor might be somewhat in the mob because the way he handled that one store.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, we ain't gonna say shit because like, what are you gonna do? And he starts breaking stuff. You know, I'm like,
That is true. Maybe if he's ordered to do something, he'll do it. But like, he was ordered like, let's not harm the poor girl. Let's just
yeah.
get her to calm down.
What was the name of the actress for Anora?
Mickey Madison.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Like she embodied the whole like I'm from the streets.
Yeah. Like, I've seen interviews with her after watching the movie, and I'm like, it's jarring because she doesn't have that New York accent. I'm like, what the fuck? You're not from New York? You could have fooled me. The scene when Igor gives the pills to the brother, and he's like, don't take it all in one go, and then later on it backfires so badly, like he just starts like puking chunks. I'm like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, the guy was hiding the entire time.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think I have a concussion.
Yeah, because Annie knocked the shit out of him the entire time.
Yeah.
She's just like, well, you care more about Ivan and your own brother. What if I die? And Thor's just like, shut the fuck up. Let's just keep going. And he's like, why?
But anyway, like the entire time is just a roller coaster ride where unfortunate events just happen to these four people while they're trying to find this spoiled brat.
Yeah. And then they find Ivan with that one prostitute who hates Anora.
Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, of course. Like, this really isn't your typical, like, rom-com movie. Like, it starts out that way, but, like, by the end, you're like, oh, man, it ends up differently. Like, it subverts expectations in the best way. You're like, I thought I was in for a cheesy movie, and now I'm here feeling a bit sad, but still, it's still a great movie.
Yeah. And there is one character who does stand out. Cool. Like I know the entire setup was Ivan and Anora the entire time when we started this movie, but halfway through we get to know the character Igor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, is this guy just like another side character? Yes, somewhat. But they're kind of building his character as if he is the nice guy. He is like, hey, like you could tell Annie's kind of like thrown off by it. Well, sure, it started out because he tried to restrain her.
Yeah. Tie her down too. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Why are you trying to traumatize this?
If you haven't seen the movie, not in that sense, because she's like kicking and punching.
Yeah.
That's why they had to tie her down.
Yeah. And you're like, why? Igor is not the best with people skills too. Like later on, by the end, he and Annie have a talk, and you're like, yeah, your perception is warped for some reason. I guess you don't see a lot of people. You just live with your grandma, but yeah, that's that situation.
Yeah, like Annie gets shocked every time he mentions her. You're like, we're like, oh, so you're a drug dealer? Like, give me some of the drugs that you're given to that one guy. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, it's for my grandma.
You're like, oh, okay. I guess that's how it is. And
Yeah,
like,
so well, we can clearly tell that like Igor is not that type of Russian
yeah,
or Armenian.
like they have to go to Vegas because they got married in Vegas, and you can't annul a marriage in New York. So they're like, fuck. And so when the family comes in, like the mom is also a show stealer, because the dad's just like,
yeah.
I'm tired of this marriage. Get me out of here, please. But I guess he can't because it will become a national sensation, like Ivan's marriage to Annie, and he's like, I can't live with that. I'm just stuck here. But yeah, I do like how by the end, when she's like, we're getting a divorce, Ivan won't get married to a fucking prostitute, and Annie's just like, well, he hates you so much, he married one. And the dad
Yeah.
just like, oh shit.
The guy just finally was like, you know what, you got a point. Yeah, and it was pretty cathartic. Like, yeah, at the end of it, she was like, hey, I'm gonna talk to a lawyer. Before we get that divorce, I'm gonna talk to a lawyer. I'm gonna get half.
Yeah.
Well, not gonna lie, the mom has a point where she was like, we're probably one of the richest families in Russia.
Yeah.
You really think you're gonna win?
Yeah, you really think you have a chance against us? We'll take everything you have and don't have. And she's like, fuck, alright.
Fine, I'm gonna just hit you personally.
Yeah. I love the fact that when she's like, calls Ivan like, you're fucking pathetic, even the mom's like, yeah, I agree. My son's a fucking pussy.
God, I don't know. This entire time it was just very cathartic, just to have like, it's just drama. By the way, there is no like Adam Sandler kind of like big plot to make it funny.
Yeah.
It's just like it felt very real,
Yeah.
but it's just the people in the scene itself are funny.
Yeah. Like Dora's freaking out because she's like, I don't have any say in this matter. I'm just a puppet being manhandled by this Russian family.
Yeah, and he's so fucking done.
Yeah.
Like his car gets towed. He's like, my wife needs this, and then one of the goons like throws up in it. And
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
Yeah. He's like, you don't you understand? My wife needs this, and his brother's like, you don't care about me. You hate me, and he's like, shut up. He's like, I'm sorry for being your brother. You're like, damn. Kind of want to spin off of Taurus and his side of the family.
I would like to see that too. But I did like the ending.
Yeah.
Like I really did. We get like one kind of sad sex scene where like Igor finally kind of gets close to Annie.
Yeah.
You get to talking, and like Igor kind of like they removed her ring at the start of the movie, and Igor kind of managed to like keep it the entire time, and was like, hey, like I know the marriage is off, but you could keep this if you want.
Yeah, I mean it's 4
carats. Again, he is the nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again the entire time Annie's very defensive against him. It's like, hey, like I don't trust you or some shit like that. Right? Well, rightly so.
Yeah.
But yeah, at one point, clearly he was the support that she needed by the end of it.
Yeah, because he was like, I think Ivan should apologize to Annie. And like everybody was taken aback, like, you have no say in this. Please shut up.
Okay. Everybody, let's just fucking leave.
Yeah. And like Annie gets her 10K, and she has a moment with Igor, and you're like, I guess she falls in love, and you don't really get a clear answer by
No, you don't get a clear answer by that. Like, I love that one little dialogue that they have, where like Igor brings her back to the steps. She doesn't go down. She's kind of like thinking things through. We don't know what's going in her head.
Yeah.
Igor comes back in, and he's like, are you okay? And she goes, oh, this car's very you. And Igor goes, do you like it? And she was like, no. I don't like that subtle back and forth. They're like, he's kind of asking, do you like Igor? You know, do you like him too? You know.
Yeah.
But she kind of gives him a chance, which I guess was like an underlining, like, ooh, maybe she feels somewhat the same way.
Yeah.
Just doesn't know how to like go at it.
Yeah. And like it's a good ending. And like again, this whole movie just subverts your expectations where you thought you were watching like a new version of Pretty Woman, and then you come out being like, this wasn't like anything I've ever seen in my life. I really like it. I know it's coming in the Philippines next week, so people will have a chance to see this. Yeah, no, not streaming, in theaters.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Well, to anyone who like would like to have a little bit of a different experience,
yeah,
watch it. In my opinion, it is one of the best movies from like 2024, and
Yeah.
it was a shame that we didn't watch it and had our list.
Yeah, it would have definitely made it. Like, it's so critically acclaimed abroad. Like, it's just made the Criterion Collection. I was like, damn.
I had a lot of fun with this movie when it came to the comedy. Yes, there's a lot of like sex scenes to a point where it is straight up pornography, but like it doesn't like take away from its full on character and its message, and like especially the ending where she does like, hey, kind of gives Igor a chance, and she has like like sex with him, but instead of like feeling pleasure, she just breaks down and starts crying. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
You know.
I just feel bad for the families who are like, let's watch a rom-com, a feel-good rom-com, and they watch
The
this.
poster is so misleading.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it looks so happy, you know? Like, and then you watch it, it was like, oh my god, so much tits.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, yeah. You know what? I was expecting this for something R18, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
what would you rate Anora?
I would rate Anora. No, I'm gonna give Anora a 9 out of 10. It is a really damn good movie. Like watching it, I was a little skeptical. I was a little bit like, oh, again, is it a Pretty Woman ripoff, or like, are they just another take on Pretty Woman, or another Cinderella story that's a little bit more edgy? I'm not sure. It averted my expectations. It's so good, and I did do some research on the director himself. He does do a lot of movies that kind of focuses on sex work,
Yeah.
and he kind of opens our eyes to that world where like, hey, we kind of have to break the stigma of it,
Yeah.
that this is not how their life usually isn't just like, you know, how Hollywood kind of made it look out to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to I would like to watch more of this guy's like films. Probably we could pop his name up here, maybe a photo.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for what's gonna like what he has like set up next. For sure, I will watch these behind closed doors. But this man's very risque. But nonetheless, he did an amazing job, and I didn't expect it to be a comedy either. Like, this is legitimately funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, a 9 out of 10 as well. Like, it's a really good movie. Like, the performances from Mickey Madison alone are like 10 out of 10. Like,
Agreed. Agreed.
Like, I hope she's in more stuff. Like, I know she's in like the modern Scream movies with Jenna Ortega, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, again, you watch that whole Manson scene and you're like, these are all future stars. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? But her, Igor, and the actor for Taurus are really just comedy gold. Like, it's not like, say, MCU humor where it's forced or like poorly timed. It's just natural. Like, Taurus being done with everything, and like the brother just being like, I'm sorry, why don't you love me? And you're like, this poor family. I would really like to see a spin-off with these two, if that's even in the like the future. I also like the fact that there's not a lot of known actors aside from Nicki Madison, and she's not the biggest star yet, but like it's all like Russian actors, and I hope all of these actors get more shots at acting in other Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I like the actor of Igor. He seemed pretty like, you know, intriguing enough.
Yeah, and like again, it just subverts expectations, and I agree. Like, if this came out earlier last year, it would have definitely been like in my top 10 as well, because it's pretty damn good.
It is pretty damn good.
But to the audience watching, what's your favorite like adult rom-com? Not really kid friendly, not really Adam Sandler, but like more like hard hitting. Like, you think about it for a while after the end. You're just like, oh damn, no, what an ending.
I don't think we get much of those though. Do we?
Yeah, it's a dime a dozen.
Oh, you know what? I would say Beef.
I haven't seen that.
Dude, it's a watch. So far I'm in the middle of it. and it's really fucking good.
I know there's a season 2 with Oscar Isaac. That's all I know about it.
Really?
Yeah, they announced it.
Like it's like
year.
a different story.
I think so.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm trying to remember. There's a movie with Adam Sandler where it's like one of the few really serious movies he's in, but it was also a rom-com. But like it's one of the few times you get to see him act dramatically, aside from like Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, even rom-coms are a dime a dozen nowadays. I'm like, where did they go? I thought they were produced like cheese back in the day. But who knows? Maybe they're having a comeback. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah.
Well, I guess we're just having a bit more with like better storytelling.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to see better stories like this in the future as well. But yeah, that's been our video for Anora. What do you guys think? If you like our stuff here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, Spotify to hear us on the go. In the video, I'm Zoda's Voices on TikTok and Answolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
Well, you can find me at JohnJoM_ on Instagram. It is Mario.com.
And congratulations to our US viewers for surviving the 1-day ban of TikTok. So you can definitely catch us on TikTok. So yeah.
It was very short-lived. Okay, everybody like made goodbye videos and everything.
Yeah, they're like, it's all for nothing. But yeah, it's just the way it works that way. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.